Yo. Welcome to another episode of EmpireJeff TV. I am your host, EmpireJeff, coming to you on a Tuesday night from Los Angeles, California, man. We got the MLB offseason, the MLB winter meetings. Has some traction, some moves going down today, some speculation on some Dodger players, some potential Dodger players, some potentially former Dodger players. So we're going to talk about that, man. We had some signings today. We had some trades. So, as the MLB world keeps spinning, we're pulling up here nightly to keep talking about Major League Baseball, even though the season is over, right? But we're here to talk some postseason, off-season, and year-round baseball, man. So hope everyone's having a good night. Hope you guys' Tuesday went well. And we're going to talk some Roki Sasaki out the gate here because online there is a lot of chatter. A lot of my group chats with baseball people, a lot of chatter about Roki Sasaki. His agent spoke today at length at the winter meeting, so we're going to touch on that. I'm going to give it a moment or two for some more people to file in here. But Roki Sasaki's agent spent some time talking with the press at the winter meetings in Dallas and said some things that I don't really know how serious you can take it. When an agent gets up and holds court in front of a whole bunch of people in the media, you take it with a grain of salt because he's just out there just kind of leading the way for his client, right? I think there was some truth in some of the things he said, and I think there was some stretching of truth in some of the things he said. And so we're going to touch on that. But Roki Sasaki, who's officially posted by his Japanese team, will be joining more than likely. I mean, I would say it's happening, right? He's going to join a Major League Baseball team. He has 45 days to do it once the posting is official. So he will sign most likely sometime between January 15th and January 25th. And, for a few years now, he has been directly linked to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers have been heavy favorites to sign him, whether he was posting in this year's period or next year's period of international pool play and transferring to MLB effectively. The Dodgers have been a major favorite to land him pretty much the whole time. So has that changed? Has other teams kind of closed in on them? The Padres, the name is the name and the team that keeps coming up over and over and over again. Now, there's a couple of things that can be a result of. There's a couple of things. The Padres keep coming up in the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes. One, either they're in it, or two, it's good to have everyone think someone else is in it. So the storyline and the narrative continues, right? And you can talk about it and you can go back and forth. No, he's going to the Dodgers. No, he's going to the Padres. Hey, he might even consider New York. Hey, this, hey, that. If everyone knows that he's going to the Dodgers, doesn't make that story necessarily any fun as you lead up to it. You got to milk this a little bit. I still think he's going to the Dodgers. If he doesn't, then he just doesn't want to be a Dodger, right? But the Dodgers have laid the foundation of the Roki Sasaki for years. They've been going over there. They've been talking with him, his agent. They have spent a lot of time checking in on Roki Sasaki. They spent a lot of time building that bridge to Los Angeles, to Dodger Stadium, a lot of time. And will it work? That remains to be seen. I believe it will. And if it does, this just further strengthens our pitching staff for now and in the future, right? What he is right now isn't who he's going to be 3 or 4 years from now, assuming he stays healthy. So getting someone like Roki Sasaki into this system now, early at 23 years old, and let him find his skill and find his craft in that Dodger machine bodes well for both the player and the team, which is why I believe in the end he will become a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And does he have some interest in San Diego? Maybe, but maybe that's if he doesn't get, necessarily what he wants from the Dodgers. An assurance that he'll be in the starting rotation, an assurance that he'll have, a role, a pretty sizable role. He can come over here. He can be a back end of the rotation guy. He can not have all the pressure of having to go to be a number 1, 2, or 3. He can be a 4, 5, or 6 because we're going to a 6-man rotation. And as he develops, a couple years when Glasnow's done, some of these other guys will be out of there, and there he is. He has a chance to be an ace with his guy Yamamoto there, right? Shohei, even if he does pitch this year, maybe he only pitches another handful of years. So he has a chance to be the Dodger ace down the road if he comes in and hones his skills now. And I think that's what's going to do it in the long run. So we're going to talk about the Padres being a threat here, and we're going to talk about why. Okay, first thing first, Yu Darvish. His idol reportedly is Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish is 38 years old. He's not going to play a long time with Yu Darvish. Now, maybe Yu Darvish can pitch for many more years to come. But Roki Sasaki, 23, Yu Darvish, 38, that 15-year age gap, he is not going to be able to play that long with him, right? On the other hand, you got Yamamoto, you got Ohtani, potentially other Japanese players coming over later. It's just more beneficial for him to have familiarity there with those two guys for longer term. So you have the Yu Darvish thing. You have the San Diego thing, right? Southern California still very nice weather. West Coast, Southwest, right? Still something that he reportedly had at the top of his list, even though his agent today had mentioned that it does not necessarily mean he's going to demand or have to play on the West Coast. He also said that he might not even mind a soft landing in a small market team because of all the media pressure and some of the things that's done to his mental in Japan. So, but at the same time, he said he can see him handling playing in a city like New York. So a lot of things that didn't line up in what he was saying. But having said that, I think at this point, it's going to come down to the Dodgers or the Padres, right? I believe the Dodgers have been his choice most of this time. He does have the right to change his mind. He does reserve the right to change his mind once he starts meeting with teams, once he starts meeting with GMs, once he starts talking with players, once he talks to Yu Darvish, who is his idol. Can they sell him on that? And I believe that he will, out of respect, hear out Darvish, and he will meet with the Padres, probably a couple other teams. He may meet with the Mets. He may meet with the Yankees. He may meet, with other teams, the Giants. He can meet with some teams here. Outside of that, it's been kind of thought of in circles for a very long time that he was going to be a Dodger. Now, is this pure speculation? Do people really know? When you talk to some people who cover the teams in Japan, they seem to, there's different conversations depending on where you are getting your information from. If you're getting it from Japan, it's a little bit more tight-lipped. A lot of the people who seem to be saying they know a lot are on the American side. Now, they could be talking to players that are over there. They could be talking to the managers that manage over there. Who knows, right? They could be getting intel from wherever they get it from. But you got some really pretty high-ranking guys that are dead set that Roki Sasaki will be a Dodger. Buster Olney flat out said he's coming and he's going to be a Dodger. Buster's pretty spot on, right? But Buster's pretty good. You have Jeff Passan, though, who's the best of the best, right? Saying maybe not so fast, maybe not a slam dunk, but he could be doing a favor for the agent and not necessarily wanting everyone to think that they have a handshake agreement and he's just flat out coming to the Dodgers and take the thrill out of it, right? So even if Roki knows he's coming to the Dodgers, and even though Roki already knows the money he can get from the Dodgers, there's no negotiation on money at all. He's going to get what he can get. That's it. He's not a free agent. He's a minor league acquisition, essentially, right? So when you get him over here, there's no negotiation on money. So when you think about that, when that comes into play, the Dodgers are at kind of towards the bottom of the barrel when it comes to what can be offered in international pool money this year. And I think that's why they pushed it back, because they wanted to do it when the Dodgers had less money, as opposed to when the Dodgers had the higher amount of money to make it seem like other teams were involved. Now, maybe he goes to another team, maybe he doesn't. But when money isn't able to be negotiated and he's coming over here, you have to think about what's there to be negotiated. And that's your place on the team, right? Your role on the team and things like that. So that's what has to be discussed. And that's probably why the Dodgers don't know 100% if they're getting him or not, because he probably wants some assurances. Where is he going to be in the rotation? And he wants to make sure that he spends probably the entire year on the big league club. That's what he's probably angling for here. And that's probably already been discussed. It's probably already being worked through. But he will, who knows? I mean, he probably won't have a chance to talk with other teams until if and when he becomes a free agent in like 6 years, something like that, right? So outside of that, this may be his only time to meet with other teams that he had interest in while in Japan. The Padres, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Giants. These are the teams that he may potentially be talking to later. So same thing as I talked about with the Soto situation, about how it was wise for the Dodgers to sit down with him while they had a chance to, because who knows what it could lead to later. This is the same thing with Roki Sasaki. Let me sit down with some teams that I've never met, never talked with. And if I sign with the Dodgers, at least I kind of have a feel for who these organizations are. And it's smart. And sometimes the agent does favors, right, for teams. He's not going to sign with you, but I'm going to give you a meeting because it helps your ball club. Now you turn around, you help me. Help me with one of my minor league guys. Help me on getting a guy released to go to where he wants to go to. Help me on trading for a player who needs to get out of a bad situation. A lot of favors. Agents in baseball play the favor game a lot because there's a lot of favors to be had in Major League Baseball. So Roki Sasaki could meet with 5, 6, 7 teams. It doesn't mean that all those teams are in it. Matter of fact, most of them probably won't be. But in reality, I believe that it comes down to the to the Dodgers and the Padres. And I would say the Dodgers are the leader in the clubhouse. And unless they botch it, which I don't see how, because like I said, they've been laying the foundation on Sasaki for years, that unless there's just something he doesn't like, that I expect him to be a Dodger. And when you look at the Padres and that situation they got going on over there and how they got to stay below the competitive balance tax, like they've been ordered to do that, why would he consider going to a team that isn't really going to be able to build much around them? You've got a lot of bad back-end contracts that are not going to age well, players that are not going to age well. They're sitting over here talking about they probably have to trade Dylan Cease after getting him because they're not going to be able to sign him next year. And they just traded for him. And they're going to have to flip him to probably a couple of pieces that they can keep because rather than lose him for nothing after what they gave up to get him. So having said that, it's a pretty tough situation for what the Padres are doing. And as a Dodger fan, I don't really enjoy that, right? Like I like the competition. I hate to see a team that's good not be able to really do anything because of money. I'd rather beat them when they're good, right? I'd rather beat them when they're good. Well, obviously, AJ Preller is one of the most aggressive guys in Major League Baseball. He's not just going to sit on his hands and not try to get creative and not try to make something happen, even though he's got these limitations. He's got guys that he can move. Now, these contracts, like I said, may not be super ideal for them, but they got some movements that they can make, right? They got some movements. So when you look at some of these guys, like Yu Darvish has such Yu Darvish's contract goes until let me see here. Is that 2027 that it goes? Actually, it might be longer here. Hold on. What does Yu's contract go to? As I look this up here. So Yu's contract goes until 2028, and it's $15 million in that last year. Like that is crazy, right? So he's 38 now, and you still have 4 more years on that deal. So if you're Roki Sasaki, like, okay, cool, he's got 4 more years. How long is he going to pitch? How long is he going to be effective? You got Musgrove making $20 million next year, and he's going to be out all next season. He's going to have the Tommy John. So he has 2 more years of $20 million left on there. So Dylan Cease is sitting here at $13 million approximately. This is an estimate because he's going to be arbitration eligible. This is the final year, so it's going to be an estimate here. Matter of fact, let me load this up on the screen here for you guys. Give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and put the San Diego situation up here on the screen for y'all. Okay. There we go. So let me make sure you guys can see that there. Okay. So when you look at his, so when you scroll down all these guys are arbitration. And it gets even crazier because then you got Michael King going to make an estimate of about $10.7 million in arbitration in his final year of team control. So you have 2 of your top starters here, 3 of your top starters when you think about it, because you have Musgrove, who is going to be out for the season. You have Dylan Cease, who is going to be most likely traded because they can't keep him. And you got Michael King, who might end up in that same situation because they're probably not going to be able to pay or keep him. And then when you scroll down here, you just look at some of these, you've got some of these contracts here that are just not going to be ideal here, man. So they would love to get rid of some of them, but teams are going to know they're desperate to dump salary. And that Bogart's contract is going to continue to just be ugly. $25 million for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all the way to 2033. All right. Machado's deal is $39 million in 2033. Like that, those contracts are not going to age well. Oh, and guess what? Look at this right here. 3-time consecutive batting champion, Luis Ariz, 13.7 estimate in arbitration again. All right. He's probably going to be traded because they're not going to be able to sign him to any type of deal that he's worth. There's no way that Ariz is going to get less than $100 million. And there's probably nothing they can do to come close to that. Then you look at this, Cronenworth. Look at this. You got Cronenworth's deal here. Cronenworth's deal, look at this, till 2030. Now, it's not crazy money, but when you're sitting there trying to cut every dollar and you got a guy in 11, 12 million range all the way through 2030, that handcuffs you. And then you see here and you look at Fernando Tatis's money here. And it looks he's going all the way to 2034 and he peaks at $36 million. So they're absolutely lucky that they stole Jackson Merrill here because he's got years to go there. But outside of that, the Padres are in absolute trouble when it comes to their books and when it comes to the amount of money that they're going to have to be spending on these guys. And Preller is going to have to get very aggressive in trying to trade some of these guys to get to where he can try to keep some of these other guys. Like I said, Michael King, Arise, and Dylan Cease. These guys might not be there long. And these guys are huge and key to San Diego being able to stay in any type of contention hunt. Without those guys, they can't be it. So you got no Musgrove, may have to trade Cease, may have to trade King, may have to trade Arise. Not ideal, y'all. That is not ideal for a team that came really close, quite frankly, to being a World Series champion. And I hate to see a team, any team, even if it's a rival, I hate to see a team have to go through that, like in general, because of money. You know, I really, really do. I'd rather beat them at the top than say, man, they got to sell off all their guys. Like that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But it's a lot of money. The Padres, I do respect the fact that they went all in. They took all those chances. They made that huge offer to Aaron Judge, even in the midst of all that. They made all these trades, and they're not done. They will get in on something. They will do something that no one saw coming. Last year, we thought it was going to be a punt year, and then they went and they traded for Dylan Cease. They traded for Arise. They traded for Tanner Scott. They brought in guys. They brought back Profar and make good contract. He had a great year. They did a lot of things last year, and it feels like every button that AJ Preller pushes seems to work. And you got to give him credit. You absolutely got to give him credit. So in his world, in his mind, AJ Preller and the Padres are probably thinking like, look, if we can land Sasaki, and then we can trade Cease for some pieces that we can keep for 10 years, right? Or at least 5 years before we got to pay them, or until our TV deal is sorted out. Adding someone like Sasaki gives us the ability to trade Cease to go get some pieces that we need. And maybe we can trade Cease for pieces that's something we can get that can replace Arise, and then we move him for something else. So you go out and get these young guys. Like, you know, maybe I don't think they're going to go and get anyone that has 1 year of team control, because they're in the same situation they are with Cease and Arise and King. But if you got to look around Major League Baseball and find someone with at least 2 years of service time left, and that seems to be the move. They'll go and trade for them and have to flip them again when there's 1 year left. And that's probably what they're going to be looking for. Anything with 2 or more years of team control that they won't have to pay long term. Until then, they've got Manny. They got Tatis locked up long term. They got those taken care of. But Manny is going to get older, and he already had some issues with that knee last year. Tatis has had numerous injury issues, plus a needle issue. You know what I mean? But outside of that, if you're Roki Sasaki, they have to sell him on the fact that, look, we have to stay below the competitive salary tax, essentially, competitive salary. And we have to trade guys. So they have to sell him that they know what they're doing. They almost got to tell him the moves they're going to make. And that might be hard to do if they think he's going to the Dodgers. You can't really give him the intel on what your moves are, and when you don't know you have him. So will they be able to fully sell him when they don't know if they fully have him, is what this comes down to. So it's something to keep an eye on. I think they have an argument there. I think they have it because they have a very good GM, a very aggressive GM. They've got good players. They've got Yu Darvish there. It is in San Diego. They've got some things going for them from Roki's standpoint. But at the end of the day, when he walks into a meeting with the Dodgers and he's got Shohei and it's Yamamoto and the Dodger brass and all that, and a chance to win a World Series for years and years and years to come, and a chance to be an ace on this staff for years to come, chance to get absolutely paid doesn't have to worry about being traded or not being able to sign with the team later on. I think the Dodgers get it done. So I got a poll in the chat right now. Let me see where we are right now. Put the poll in the chat. Where do you think Roki will sign? 89% right now are saying Dodgers. 44 votes. If you have not done so, please join the poll here and contribute your vote. 89% right now saying Dodgers. Mostly everyone seems to feel very strongly that is where he's going to go. Professionally, fans, like I said, the media, people in Major League Baseball, a lot of people believe that's exactly where he's going to go. Now this has to play out, and we'll see what it is. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, I am EmpireJeff. This is EmpireJeff TV. We are here talking some MLB rumors, some Los Angeles Dodgers, but right now we are talking Roki Sasaki specifically. And the title of the video is today is, are the Padres going to steal Roki Sasaki from the Dodgers? Or can they? Or has Roki decided between the Dodgers and the Padres? Is what we're talking about here. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You can become a member to the channel as well for less than the cost of lunch. You can become a member for an entire month. We have 3 different tiers of memberships. Search gave away 5 more memberships last night. Shout out to Brother Search, man. Appreciate you, brother. I love you, brother. Thank you for that. We're growing the membership program, some membership-only videos, member-only live streams, etc. So make sure to go ahead and become a member to the channel. Shout out to everyone over on YouTube, 250 people on Twitter X right now. Shout out to you guys. Make sure to drop a like on the post, repost the post, and help spread the EmpireJeff TV gospel. And one more, and I'll shut up and get back to baseball here. And that is to talk about our Fanatics links as we lead up to the holidays here. Get your MLB, NBA, NFL gear, and more. Make sure to use our link to get special discounts, and your purchase also helps support the channel. We have partnered with the good people at Fanatics, and when you order through Fanatics with our link, they make a contribution to the channel on behalf of your order. So we greatly appreciate it. It's a great way to help the channel, great way to get your gear. You get some special discounts. Your order experience does not change. Only thing is we get a credit for the order, and it helps us out. You can also tap that Cash App, $EmpireJeff, that is scrolling at the bottom of your screen. All right, so Roki Sasaki, man, will be posted sometime between January 15th and January 25th, more than likely. And right now, all signs point to him potentially becoming a Los Angeles Dodger. That obviously has potential to change at any time. And but right now, that's my gut feeling. That seems to be the industry feeling. And we'll have to wait and see. You know, just because I'm saying it means nothing. Just because I think it's happening means nothing. That's just my feeling. That's just one guy's opinion on the situation. That's it. So curious to see what you guys think. So let's go ahead and get to some of your chats here, man. Hezbollah, what's going on, my guy? Who's your top 3 favorites for Roki and why? So my top 3 favorites would be the Dodgers, the Padres, and believe it or not, my sleeper team will be the Angels. Just because it's LA. Shohei went there. Shohei didn't have a lot of bad things to say about them. In the end, he left because he couldn't win. But as far as going there, being able to kind of do his thing, be left alone, I think potentially, I wouldn't cut them out then right now. Miguel, what's going on, sir? Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Karam, what's going on, man? My Rangers making moves. Yeah, they got I saw they re-signing Baldy, right? Did they just trade for I think they just traded for Berger right before I went live, right? I think they did. I think they did. I think I scrolled down a little too much here. Yeah, there we go. What's going on, Michael? Hola, Jeff. Ranger acquired Jake Berger from Miami. What's going on, Michael? Yeah, I saw that right before I was going live. Chris, what's going on, my brother? Chris, the art director, a.k.a. the graphic god, best in the business. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, got back there. Chris says, what's going on, Chris? I still think he goes to the Dodgers. I think his agent was trying to open up their market. I think his agent was kind of just trying to save face there because he's been saying there is no handshake agreement. I think he wants his client's name out there, right? As he should. He's promoting his client. So I think that's all what he should be doing. Hiley, what's going on, Miss Hiley? Hey, Jeff, if we don't get Roki, perhaps we could re-sign Buehler to be the 4th starter behind Snell, Yamamoto, and Glasnow. Maybe. I don't think Roki really interferes with Walker too much because it's not going to really cut into the money, right? if Walker's going to come down to the money, what are the offers that he's getting and what will he take from the Dodgers? And the Walker thing, I started hearing some interesting things today. Walker Buehler, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. Kind of took me by surprise a little bit. Got Higgy, Ebaldi back, and Jake Berger. Yeah, hitting Higgy with it. Yeah, so you got the backup catcher. You brought back your starter, and you traded for Berger. Berger got a couple home runs against the Dodgers this year, man. Miguel said, I can honestly say thanks to you, Jeff. I've become more of a baseball fan. I honestly don't really care for the Lakers at the moment. The grass is greener on this side, on the blue side. Hey, appreciate you, man. And that's exactly what I got into this for. I told you guys that my goal was to bring the people who watched me cover the NBA over to MLB and kind of get you excited about the game. I understand that basketball, including myself, it's been a real struggle to get back into basketball. So I've kind of made my home in baseball right now. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. There's no toxicity over here like there is in covering basketball. There's absolutely no nonsense, drama, or hate in the space. I love it. And I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep doing baseball. I'm gonna get back into basketball. I did a post today. A lot of people have been reaching out to me, messaging me, looking for me, asking me to come back. I took a break, starting to get that itch again. I'll probably be back covering NBA around Christmas, but not just the Lakers. I'm going to go full-fledged NBA because the Lakers are depressing. They're frankly wasting our time right now. So I'm going to go back to basketball because my mind, heart, and soul loves the sport. But I'm going to add my own little twist to it, my own little thing to it during a down season and with all the nonsense they got going on. But I appreciate you for saying that, Miguel, because that's exactly what I set out to do this for. Thank you, brother. Dan Inspiration says, if he goes to the Padres, he will be like you, Darvish, no rings. If he goes to the Dodgers, most likely multiple rings. Absolutely. So comes down to what is his main agenda here? What is he looking for? Is he looking to get the most exposure? Is he looking to be more counted on, more relied upon, be more of the man? Is he looking to go and help a team win that's already doing something and add to that? Is this Tony Kukoc joining the Bulls, in the 90s? I think if you look at it kind of that way, that's kind of what it is. And I think that's where he's going to go with it. I really, really, really do, man. Sasaki come to Texas. Yu Darvish went there, right? This year, but I don't know. I wouldn't have them in there right now. I wouldn't. You don't want to be in the West Coast. I think he does want to be in the West Coast. If you want to win a World Series, come here. If he wants to win a World Series, you go to the Dodgers. Chris says, I still think he goes to the Dodgers. I just think his agent wants to keep the market open. The Padres are under serious financial constraints, and Roki wants to win. Yeah. I could wait until January 15th. We got no choice. Controversial. What's up, my guy? I never got why foreign baseball players need translators, but NBA players don't. Yao Ming had translators, and there's not a lot of, there's more of them now. But a lot of those foreign players in NBA, because the game has gone such global, there's a lot of them now. They know the language a little bit better than they did back in the day. But still, even some of them, when they came over here, they spoke better English. Like even Vlade Divac back in the day spoke a little better English than some of these guys. And they don't want to mess up in today's world. You say one wrong thing, you mess up something, and it could be career threatening. So it's wise to have those translators. Let's see. Bro, coming to the Angels. That's what I said. Like, I wouldn't, I don't think it's going to happen. I'll reiterate that. But I will say that they have some Japanese equity. They really do. They really do. I wonder how Ohtani leads if he don't speak English. That's impressive. He speaks a little bit more, but what you say to your teammates and what you say behind closed doors versus what you say to a camera that can be clipped a million times is different, man. You know what I mean? Search, what's going on, brother? Search, appreciate you, man. Thank you once again for gifting those those memberships last night. We got over 50 people in the building on YouTube right now, 24 likes. So I'm gonna pause the video real quick here, man, and ask you guys go ahead, acknowledge this work, and drop a like on the video, man. Come on now.
Acknowledge me, please.
Drop a like on the video, man. Consistently giving this MLB content. Who else doing this, man? Showing up, none of the riffraff, none of the extra stuff, just direct baseball, man. Come on now. Drop a like on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already as well. Appreciate you again, brother Search. Let's see. There you go with the Fanatics link. Make sure I'm telling y'all, man, great products, great stuff for Christmas, man. Chris says people keep mentioning that he's extremely close with Darvish, but that's not true. He's closer to Yamamoto. I don't necessarily think it's the closest thing, but he was his idol. They said so. It's a respect thing, right? Japan's very big on respect. That's his old head. That's his elder. That's a big homie. Yamamoto's kind of a big homie, but not as much as Darvish, not as much as Ohtani. It's a respect thing. I think at this point in his career, he's probably closer to Yamamoto than all of them. But having said that, I think because Yu Darvish is the OG, he's the guy that kind of started this. I think the level of respect for him is what it's more about. What's going on, Austin? Rangers trade 2 prospects to Marlins for Berger. Yeah, Texas is doing things, man. If they get DeGrom back, Seager can stay healthy. If they can, they could be a threat. It's just about, can these guys stay healthy? DeGrom can never stay healthy. Seager always gets hurt at the wrong times. I like the signing of Ubaldi. He got a 3rd year. I thought he was only going to get 2. I had him penciled in for about 2 years, 48 to 52 million. He got 3 years, 75. That was a little more than I thought he would get. Speaking of a little more, man, we got to talk Max Fried. We're going to talk Max Fried, but let me catch up to these comments here. Let me catch up to these chats. That Max Fried thing was nuts. Austin said he's wanting a smaller market also for a softer landing. That's what I heard, but his agent said that, but I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. See, Pablo. What's going on, Pablo? They did the same thing with Ohtani first time around. Look how it turned out. No, I hear you. I absolutely hear you for sure. Absolutely hear you for sure. 300 people rocking live right now on Twitter X. Appreciate y'all, man. What's going on, Will? Appreciate you for tuning in. Roki Sasaki grew up a Dodger fan. He's going to pull a Yamamoto and get an invitation to expensive dinners hosted by all the MLB owners who are interested in him. Yep, he will. He will. What's going on, Joseph Soro? Damn, polls, get them off the screen. We could do what we want, Joe. You don't make the rules, Joseph. You don't make the rules, Joseph. Dude, Roki's a Dodger. The hell is everyone worried about? I think so. But his agent got up there and spoke for about an hour today. It's news. We're going to talk about it. And it's the winter meetings, and it deserves the coverage. And while I believe that Roki will be a Dodger, I do leave the door open and a possibility open that he won't be. Nothing is 100% until he is. And I still think he is. I had it 95.5. I probably have it at 85.15 now, just because it's just some chance. Let's see. Karan says Roki wants to come to Texas. I doubt that, man. What's going on, Craig? Appreciate you for tuning in as always. Chris Young, the GM, isn't messing around. Yeah, he needs to worry about not making the playoffs last year. After winning the World Series, man, you can't win the World Series and bottom out. You got to be consistent, man. I want another championship. We all do. If Dodgers can't sign Teo, who out there is a big right bat? Well, it doesn't. There could be trades. There could be things that are done. When you let's play this game here. So hold on. Let's go here. And let's go. Okay, 1 second here. Just loading up here. So what's interesting here is when you start talking about free agents that are out there, and you have the Yankees who just signed Max Fried. We're going to touch on that. Everything that I keep hearing and talking around is they have tremendous interest in Christian Walker. He had that oblique injury last year. He's a Dodger killer. Get him out the NL West. And if he goes to the Yankees and we face them in the World Series, just walk him every time at Dodger Stadium. He just kills us here. Kills us at Dodger Stadium. But if that's the case, that if after signing Fried, and then if they sign Christian Walker, then that probably takes them out of the Teo sweepstakes. And then it comes down to the Dodgers in Boston. And Boston has not shown that they've been able to land anybody or really spend the money when it comes down to doing it. They missed out on Snell. They missed out on Fried. They missed out on Soto. And if they miss out on Teo, like they're just missing out on everybody. So let's say freakishly overpay to get someone like Teo, which I don't know why they would, because he's not the guy that takes you to the next level by himself. You add him to Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, then yeah, obviously. But let's say that let's say the Yankees don't get Christian Walker. Let's say the Yankees sign Teo. Let's say that happens. Well, there's a guy out there who's 2 years younger than him, is a switch hitter, made $11.7 million last year, and hit about 40 bombs. And that's Anthony Santander. And if the Yankees are out the market and you're sitting there, and you could probably get Santander on a 5-year deal to his 35-year, and you could probably get him at 100-ish, right? Tail money, switch hitter, younger, could be in the cards, right? So there's guys out there. You can also trade for someone else. The Tucker rumors are out there. So there's things that can be done. The Dodgers, that's why when Friedman spoke today, he's like, look, we want him back professionally and personally. But if it doesn't happen, we're prepared for it. So I feel like they're prepared for whatever happens. And I trust them no matter whatever happens to get it right. Manimal, what's up, man? Jeff, salute, Jeff. I'm watching the stream with my 2 girlfriends, bro. Much love. Tell them both I said hello, man. Tell them both I said hello. Let's see. We got King Cash. Appreciate you for tuning in, King Cash. They basically have to say we don't have the money to pay our current ace, but when it's your turn, we might have the money. Yeah, but I don't. That's a horrible selling point, right? That's like saying I could buy this house. I'm not going to be able to pay my first 3 mortgage payments, but that 4th payment, I might be able to pay it. It's a really, really tough and bad negotiating ploy. BC, what's going on, BC? What's going on, BC? Let me check in on this poll here. 91% now, with almost 70 people taking part in that poll. If you have not done so already, we have a poll asking you to vote on where do you think Roki Sasaki is going to go, the Padres or the Dodgers. We greatly appreciate that. 28 likes on the video right now, 60 people in the building on YouTube. Please drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And we now have 320 people on Twitter X right now. Appreciate you. Ozzy, what's going on, Ozzy? Jake Berger got traded. Yep, saw that. Texas trying to stack up a little bit here, man. MLB meetings are fun. Oh, they're great. The MLB got it right, man. See, the NBA needs to do this. The NBA tries to make summer league like the summer meetings or like the GM meetings, right? They try to do that, but there's basketball being played, so it's hard for it to really like zone in on that. They need to do a better job of like, because there's basketball played during the day and during the night, right? They need to make it to where it's like, okay, either the week before or the week after summer league, they do something like the NBA summer meetings, right? Where they do something like this and it gets all the attention. You get all the GMs out there, you get all the agents out there, the players are there. And, maybe they do it at the time of the NBA awards or something, right? Like do something like this. This is great. This is great. Like we're getting tremendous traction, tremendous content from a bunch of creators. A lot of people have interest in the MLB offseason, and this is fantastic. I love it. And so the winter meetings, I've always followed them. The GM meetings, I've always followed them. And now I love that it's getting to like a much bigger scale, much, much bigger scale. Search says all the money you give us goes into the show. Oh, facts. Everything you guys commit to the show goes back into the show for sure. Ozzy says, any fire to the Nolan Arenado trade talk? So I touched on this last night. So the Nolan Arenado thing, I think there is more interest on Arenado's side than the Dodgers side. I think the Dodgers at some point may have some interest in it. But I don't believe it's anywhere near a top priority to them. We had some interesting information come out today as how pretty much confirmed that Mookie is going to be shortstop. They first told us second, then shortstop. I said last night, maybe that's just them saying something, and it still could be. It still could be. But Freeman basically spoke up and said that Mookie's dead set on it. But that's where he wants to play. And they're going to let him, at least right now. And if that's the case, then there's a spot at second base. Muncy could slide there, or you could trade Lux and go get another second baseman. But it potentially opens the door for an Arenado trade. And I covered this last night about how Chris Taylor's money, and there's going in a salary dump, basically bringing back Arenado is only $8 million more than Chris Taylor, and St. Louis will be able to pay all or a good chunk of that money of the difference there, and you could potentially get Nolan Arenado for similar money to Chris Taylor. Now you do have to pay him a couple more years or some deferrals there, but you can negotiate that. And I think Arenado, I would say right now, is like a 40-60 chance of happening. But if the Dodgers don't get some of the guys they want, the Dodgers always bring in a reclamation project, but not at that type of money, right? They usually bring in a guy that is like, okay, we're going to pay this guy, $2, $3, $4, whatever $1 million, $5 million, bring him in, and he's going to play great for us, and he'll be gone next year, or we'll bring him back, right? So they do that usually with a bullpen guy. They do it usually with a starter. And they usually do it with a bat. So very interested to see who they do that with this year. Wouldn't mind beating Corey and the Rangers in the next year's World Series. Absolutely. What was that? Patron sent. Where is Teoscar? I don't know where Teoscar is. Somewhere probably still celebrating a world championship. But right now he doesn't have a team. I would assume that maybe sometime by the end of the week he will. Maybe sometime by the end of the week. Darvish could have had a ring in 2017 too. Yeah, man. Tipping those pitches too much, man. Tipping them pitches too much. Will burn you every time. It'll burn you every time. Plus cheating. But he was definitely tipping his pitches too. Let me see. I think I touched on that. Yep. There we go. No chance he goes to down. Yeah, I don't think so either. Craig says Lakers don't know whether they're in or out as far as improving the team. Yeah, not even worried about them right now. Why are they the Texas Rangers? There's another team in Texas. It's not the Texas Mavs or the Texas Stars. I mean, it's just, what they went with, right? The Golden State Warriors are technically the California Warriors when they're called Golden State. They play in the Bay Area, but Golden State is California. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't put two and two together, man, with that one. Since Roki won't make that much money, more money in Los Angeles and endorsements. Yep. Roki would be a celebrity in LA. Facts. Slava Medvedenko needed a translator. Bad, poor guy back in the three-peat era. Yeah, he did. Yamamoto is close to his age. Closer. Yeah, for sure. What's going on, Nando? Roki Sasaki agent made him sound soft. You think he made him sound soft? I think he made him sound more open to other locations is what I think he made him sound like. I think that's what he tried to do. Let's see. Mike McCain. What's going on, Mike? He needs to be in a market where he's going to get paid because he's going to be making minimum wage for a minute. So he needs the big market to pull in $1. Yeah. This is true. And playing with Shohei, you're going to ride that wave of money that Shohei's bringing in every year. It's going to be another monster size deal from another Japanese company, another spot popping up in Dodger Stadium. Like it's going to be, this is the money machine here, man, right now. So I could see that happening. Thunder eliminated Dallas from the in-season tournament. Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to my guys at We Talk Mavs, man. I'm sure they're upset tonight. I like the addition of Conforto. He's a good bat. I like the addition of that too. It's not a game-changing one. At least I don't think it'll be. But we'll wait it out and we'll see. But not a bad signing. There's a lot of very snobbish Dodger fans who don't like anyone we get. Like, right? Whoa, we spend that. Why do we do that? Like, there are people out here who think they know more than Andrew Friedman. Look, I know baseball pretty well. Watched it my whole life. I'm a baseball nerd. You guys, I get up here and talk it every night. I know what I'm talking about for the most part. Andrew Friedman is I could never question him. Like, I'm just a guy who watches games on the couch or at a bar. I can't question a professional. Even when they're bad, there's a lot of circumstances that come into play that an average working schmuck like myself could never understand. We think we can. I mean, I don't think I can. But at the end of the day, we're on the couch. They're in the executive suite. Like they know way more than us. Even when they're doing bad, it just happens. It just happens. It happens to everybody. All the greats things go bad. Things go bad. People forget Jerry West didn't win a single title in the 90s as a GM. Never comes up. Things go bad. Dr. Jerry Buss and Jerry West did not win a single chip in the 90s. Things go bad. It can happen. No one brings that up, right? The Dodgers are an absolute juggernaut right now. It took 10 years really to get this going. Now, 17 and 18, obviously they should have had something there. But as far as where they are now, full-fledged, peak, the golden era of Dodger baseball, that took 10 years. So I know a lot of people like to sit on the couch with the remote and their Twitter fingers and call out every signing or every trade like they know better, but we don't. We don't. Adam, what's going on, Adam? Pivot to Luis Roberts if Teo leaves. Well, that would be a trade, a pricey trade, and he's never healthy. So I like him as a player. I really do. He's never healthy. If Teo walks, can't they just use the money to resign Buehler and trade for Tucker or Roberts? Yes, they could. They could. The Giants, but again, there's some issues there. Is Buehler going to be Buehler like he was at the end of the playoffs there? Is Roberts going to stay healthy? The Giants hit 239 last year with a .701 OPS and a .396 slug. People shouting out search. That's what's up. One of baseball's worst offenses. Yeah. Mind my business. Randy Scott. What's going on, Randy? We need to work on acquiring Kyle Tucker. He's a stud. I think they would love to get in on that, but there's several teams involved there. The Yankees out here are very, very interested. But if you're Houston, now I know the word Houston makes everyone upset and makes us want to throw up in our mouth, right? But that front office is gone. The ones that were there during the 2017 and that whole scandal there. Now the owners there still there. Crane is still there, obviously, but maybe something could happen because maybe they don't want to send him to a team they're going to have to face every year in an ALCS potentially, right? Maybe they don't want to send him to the American League. So if it becomes National League only, maybe the Dodgers could be in play. He's a stud. He's going to be a free agent, and it's possible. I don't know if it's likely, but it's possible. It's funny because when I was talking yesterday, I said there's still a handful of guys I can't talk about. There's still more, right? The Dodgers are involved in a lot of stuff. BC says, you're right, Jeff. I can't see Teo getting over 26 or 27, but that's still too much for me. That is too much for me. He made 23.5 last year. 23.5 and an overpaid on a one-year deal on a make good, right? To me, coming back at that was a one-year deal. I'm fine with Teo making $25 million next year. But $25 million when he's 35 years old, I don't love that. I don't love that. So if there's a signing bonus or something where he's making less in those final 2 years, give him that bigger money next year, the year after the great year, then have it start to fall off after that, I'm kind of with. But to me, you got to think the Dodgers' roof is probably $375 for guaranteed money. I've heard that. That could change. That roof could get higher. But Teo made 23.5. Gets a 1.5 raise and a chance to play for a World Series again next year if he gets a 25 mil. But at some point, you can't pay Teoscar Hernandez $27 million, man. You can't do that, man. 20 to 23 is fair. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he made 23.4 or 23.5, whatever, last year. You said you see no poll. Do I still have the poll there? Poll is pretty much a body bag, 90%, 84 votes. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll right now, actually. There's ended the poll there. Now, the only thing that's up top there is the link for the Fanatics. Joe says, I am the rules. In video games, maybe, Joe, but not in real life. On rookie mode, you're the rules. Poll was earlier. Let's see. I can't wait until Taylor and Russell are off my baseball and basketball teams. Yeah, that'd be fantastic, man. Noah Syndergaard. Yep. Joey Gallo. Yep. Kimbrel. Yep. These guys make mistakes too, man. But when you're getting guys for you're taking chances on stuff, things happen. I mean, things happen. But I'm talking about when you're getting a guy that's like, when you're getting someone in the $50 to $100 million range, I trust these guys to do that. Cut the crap. I'm not saying they're not, but if you think that you know more about basketball than Pelinka, you're tripping. Like, he played college basketball. He's been an agent. He works in the NBA. Now, what if he's using? It's a total difference in using what you know and not doing it right. Totally different. But if someone sits up here and acts like they know the game of basketball more than someone who does it professionally and knows more than Rob Pelinka, I don't know what to tell you. I think people are drinking their own Kool-Aid. But let's see. Andrew Friedman had the Tampa Bay Rays competing every single year with the bare minimum. He did. Absolutely. And the whole setup they got over there is crazy. West didn't have two superstars in the 90s. Bryant came a superstar in the 2000 season. No, I get it. What I'm saying, I'm not. What I'm saying is people act like even marquee franchises don't go through stretches. Is my point. It's my point. Like even Pelinka won a ring, right? So what I'm saying is, and then from 2010 to 2024, we've won one championship as a Lakers, as a Laker fan, right? So it's a horrible stretch, and yeah, they gotta go. But at the end of the day, there's no problem with saying they gotta go. But a fan thinking they could do a better job, it just kills me. Oh man. Jerry West didn't win in the 90s because his star got HIV and needed a few years to recover. He still drafted very good players in that time. Yeah, no, I get it. But Joseph, I never thought I'd see you make excuses when you're only built to run results, sir. This is off brand for you. That's a ding to the armor. What's going on, Mike Lopez? Is this real? Sasaki is considering the Padres. I mean, that's what people were talking about. I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but all the major outlets are covering it, so I wanted to bring it up as a talking point. So definitely wanted to cover. I'm still laughing at Joe. So I definitely wanted to cover it. So I would say, like I said, I still got 85-15 Dodgers that he comes here. If he cares about winning, he should be willing to take less. We talk about Roki. I mean, there's no negotiation that he could do. Oh, you talk about Teo. Yeah. I get it. Freddie Mookie did to win. Yeah, my bad. You're talking about Teo for sure. Michael Jordan knows more than all of them put together. Yes, some of y'all picked the wrong draft choice. I know, right? Sometimes they just don't. They just do dumb stuff. Smart people do dumb stuff all the time. Right? Or then you've got politics in organizations, which are so annoying. And sometimes you just do things in spite of someone else, like politics and games, totally different on what someone knows and what they do. Like LeBron James is brilliant, but he still, is involved in a lot of stuff that's not brilliant, right? As far as forcing some moves like the Russell Westbrook situation, right? Everyone knows that was more Braun and AD than Pelinka, but Pelinka's going to wear it. No. I don't do all the narratives and stuff. I just see directly through what it is, man. Let me see. Adam says Adam Morrison, Kwame Brown, Gerald Henderson, DJ Augustine. Like, these are all like low tier outside of Kwame. All tier. Yeah, that was and Kwame went number one, man. Morrison went number three. See, Morrison was Jordan went with the star effect right there, because what he did at Gonzaga, when he did in the tournament. But I don't think a lot of guys really thought that was going to come to the NBA like that. Everybody thought he was going to be Larry Bird. Like, no, he's not, man. Kwame Brown, like, God. You know what? Kwame wasn't taken number one. Like he turned into a really solid defender. Like he could contribute to a team. The thing is, once he had that number one pick on him, like if Kwame went like 15th, if he out of the lottery, if Kwame went like 15 through 30, I think he would have been appreciated a little bit more, because on that Laker team, when they're facing the Suns and all that, like Kwame's defense really, really helped when the Lakers were getting back into the playoffs before the Gasol trade. Like his defense was solid. That team just wasn't very good. Mike McCain says, I don't even want to see Greg Kimbrell ever again. Me neither. What's going on, Rand? Just put 100 on Rams to win the Super Bowl. Oh, man. Woo. God bless you for that. Let me make sure I'm not missing any news here, just talking away. Man, that's a lot of on the Rams, huh? I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind that. Like I root for him. My team is cooked. My team is cooked. Acts of God. Joseph, you took a ding there. Come on, Joseph. Mr. Joseph Results Sorrow. Never thought I'd see the day where he'd soften up, man. Come on, Joseph. Joseph Sorrow. Rams completing which up that trip for LA, man. I don't know, man. That's asking a lot. I think it's still fair to criticize the front office. No. It's no. That's not what I said. Let me clarify. I criticize the front office. I criticize ownership. I have no problem with saying that or criticize. What I said is us who are on the couch thinking we know more than professionals is crazy, right? We don't know all the details. We don't know all the information. We don't know everything. Fans thinking they know more than the experts. I mean, come on now. Like, people are feeling themselves too much. Anyone can get up here and press record on YouTube. Doesn't make you an expert. I'm not an expert. I do shows all the time. I'm not an expert. The difference between me and everyone else is I can admit that. I have no ego in this, right? I don't have to be right. Not everyone in the space is like that. So at the end of the day, criticize. You could talk. You can complain about your team being, when they suck. You can do all that. But what I'm saying is to sit up here and act like people in the chat on YouTube can sit down and negotiate with an agent. Oh my God. Rule 5 draft is tomorrow. See who Dodgers lose. Yeah, there's that too. Morrison could shoot. He definitely could shoot. Phil never liked Adam. No, he didn't. He was baked half the time. Even a guy like Pat Riley, been a sus GM for the last few years. He legit said, I have a hard time trading guys. I thought bro was a cutthroat. Yeah, I mean, it's all about like on the surface, right? Like I'm trying to tell you, like you see, I don't know. Like people pay attention to like what's going on over here when what's really going on is over here. You know what I mean? And people fall for the dumb stuff all the time. But you're right. Drafted Covey Zeller 4th overall. Mike Lopez. What's up, Mike? I don't get it. So all the visits, scouting time, and meetings that Andrew Friedman did once Sasaki was 18 don't count. So now all these teams are crying because the Dodgers hold the lead. No, I get it. And I think that's why they're going to get him. All those other teams could have been out there. All those other teams could have laid that foundation. All those other teams could have built that imprint in Japan and got player after player. They built, and had a plan for Ohtani for years. They had a plan for Yamamoto for years. They have a plan now for Roki for years. And who knows who else they're planning for over there, right? So I agree with you 100%, Mike. If other teams have a problem with anything that the Dodgers are doing, then go do it. Stop being cheap and have your owner pay to send your jet to Japan to go check on these guys multiple times a year. Like the Dodgers, send Friedman, right? Do that. Take care of that. Don't complain about it. Pay your guys signing bonuses. Give your guys deferrals. Do all these things that the Dodgers are doing because it's legal. It's legal. And you know what bothers me? You know what really grinds my gears? Is more people seem to have a problem with how the Dodgers do business legally, but don't say a damn thing about what Houston did in 2017 or what Boston did in 2018. Make that make sense. You'll sit here and cry about a team doing things within the rules and say nothing about the guys who cheated in 2017 and 2018 and tell us to move on. So if we have to move on from being cheated, then y'all best move on for the Dodgers doing things legal. Suckers. Shut all the way the F up with that. Not a Kwame Brown fan at all for his YouTube channel. Bro hates on Braun for some reason. You'd think he'd hate MJ and Kobe. Funny, you can smell that envy from across the screen. Yeah. Kwame, when he first started, was kind of funny. When he was going at it with Gil and Steven Jackson, that was actually kind of funny. Because one thing about Kwame, again, a guy that's coming off done, he's very, very smart. Kwame is a very smart guy. Like his SAT scores, he could have gone to any college he wanted to. Kwame's a smart guy. He's just doing dumb stuff. Back to my point of smart people do dumb stuff all the time. But yeah, Kwame got a weird obsession with Braun. He's in one of these weird like YouTube spaces that just make a YouTube career off of Braun. Morrison did win 2 championships and he was a bench player. Yeah, I mean, he was the end of the bench player though, right? January 15th can't come soon enough. Need to know when Sasaki chooses. January 15th, but I don't know if that's exactly when he signs. I think he has until the 15th or the 25th to sign. What's going on? Don't care. He said, what's up, Jeff? Watching from work. Still no tail. Appreciate you, brother. Watching from work. Yep, still no tail. I think we'll know something by the end of the winter meetings, though. Hopefully. 380 people in the building on Twitter X right now. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all doing your thing up here right now. We got already 450 views on YouTube, man. We have 55 people in the building right now. 32 likes on the video. Once again, Ron, help me out.
Acknowledge me, please.
Come on, y'all. I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to take a couple seconds here to remind you to please drop a like on the video. 55 people in the building, only 32 likes. I know that not all 55 people have dropped a like on this video. Come on, drop a like. I'd appreciate it if you did so. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're watching the replay later, contribute in the comment section. Let me know what you got to say on the subject and on the topic. Appreciate you guys, man. Come on, man. All this work. I hate to even have to ask you guys for the likes, but this is what helps the channel. The like at the bare minimum is what helps the channel get more recognized, helps the creator. Subscribing to the channel. Look, since I've been covering baseball in NBA, about 30% of the people who watch are not subscribed, right? Which is not too bad, right? 30%. In MLB, look, I had 2,500 views on last night's video, right? 70% of them are not subscribers. So I have a whole new world of people flooding into the channel, watching for extended periods of time, but not subscribing. But I got 50 of y'all last night. Aha! I got 50 of y'all to sub up last night. So sub up. 70% of the people in the building are not subscribers. I need to change that metric. I needed to get more what it's like on the basketball side. 30% of non-subscribers. So let's make that happen. But at the bare minimum, drop a like on the video. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. MJ is considered the GOAT, but was a terrible GM. Yeah, you know, a lot of great players can't really do the executive or coaching stuff. It's just not really in them to do it. They don't have the patience, and they think they're better at everyone than everything, right? So it's different than when it's on the court than when it's like in the executive room. If Search mods you, then you are good. I appreciate you, Search. Charlotte have been rebuilding for 30 years. So have the Bulls. Let's see. Joe says Dodgers are wishing for the market to dictate what Teo is worth. Yeah, I mean, and so they kind of have like a weird like little situation here because the Dodgers are waiting that out. The more I think about it, I think Teo loses that because once the Yankees dry up, I really don't think he has any. I mean, I think he just likes Cora and he likes the Northeast from his time in Toronto, but I think he wants to play for something after getting a taste of the World Series. Teo played his whole career without winning anything. Like he never got out of a wild card round. First year with the Dodgers, he wins a World Series that was impactful. It's hard to come off of that high. So I think as long as the Dodgers are fair, I don't even know if they have to be the top bidder. I just think if the Dodgers are offering the same as last year and Boston's offering 27, maybe they meet in the middle, 25, and it gets done. But I think the Dodgers ceiling is guaranteed $75 million. Now, I don't know how that works out. I don't know if that goes up because of deferrals. I don't know if it moves a little because of a signing bonus. Probably so. But I think if it was just straight up guaranteed money, it would be 3 years, 75. But that's not how the Dodgers do business. So maybe the Dodgers push it to 85, but with deferrals. Because he did defer some last year. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I mean, Riley can't get a second superstar. Nope. Why do you think Riley has a tough time moving guys? To me, I think it's because he's an OG and likes loyalty and pride. Well, I don't think he likes the era of guys leaving to play with their friends and moving around so freely. So I think he has a problem with moving guys just to move them, right? But at the same time, I think Riley is also getting up there in age, becoming a little bit more sentimental, becoming a little bit looking back on his legacy, becoming back wanting to be liked at the end. And, you know, it's not always easy to trade a guy, even when you act like it is. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of GMs, a lot of executives never come around the team. Don't want to get to know the families. Don't want to do any of that. Because when they trade them or cut them, it makes it harder for them. They have to be impartial. So it makes it a lot harder on that executive to do that. Joe says, Teo and his people will come back and the Dodgers will decide if they want to match. Yeah. And then again, they may not have to match. They may just have to be fair. Stop being cheap. You heard that wrong. That man, I mean, the Lakers are a tax team. They're not being cheap. There's a difference between doing things the right way and then being cheap. They're not necessarily being cheap. They're paying LeBron $50 million a year, but they're not filling in that roster around him. Sam Bowie taking over MJ. Yeah, that's still one of the craziest things of all time. Craziest things of all time. Let's see. He said, yes, Jeff, 2018, 2017-18 will always be the return. Yep, facts. Boston and Houston both fired their managers for being part of the cheating scandals. If their titles were legit, they'd never fire them. They fired them. Executives got fired. And then Boston brought Cora back after like a year or two, man. Maniac in Black. What's going on, man? You think that Trout trade will happen to the Dodgers? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, just the amount of money left back, the time, his ability, the injuries. I mean, the Angels would have to eat a lot of money of that deal to make it work, and I don't think Artie Moreno's going to do that for the Dodgers. Friedman let Corey Seager go. Trade Turner, but we still got a ring. I want Teo, but if we don't get Teo, I trust Friedman. Well, Corey Seager, Boris never came back to the Dodgers to match that Texas deal. Trey Turner, the Dodgers never really reached out to him. They were waiting on basically on Shohei. They were punting, right? They were comfortable with sitting out and waiting to get him and put that money aside. But again, I'm with you. I trust the front office. And if this doesn't work out with Teo or whatever thing that they're doing, I trust that their contingencies are going to work. Realistic, do you see any relievers being signed? I feel like Williams and even Tanner Scott as free agents will be too expensive. Well, Williams is not a free agent. You have to trade for him. Tanner Scott, $15 million a year if he's your closer. That's not terrible. There's other guys out there, but this feels like a good segue to bring this up, because in talking to some of my baseball chats today, and talking to a particular Dodger person, not someone in the organization, but someone that covers them, and it came up today, and I was talking about things. I was like, what are they going to do? Are they going to still do closer by committee? Are they going to officially give it to Kopech? Are they going to go after Tanner Scott? Are they going to trade for Williams? Are they going to trade for another top tier guy? And I'm like, is the long-term plan see if Dustin May can do it in the future? Like, what's the plan for the closer? And he goes, Game 5. Game 5. He's like, yeah, Game 5. I'm like, well, Trinan? Like, you're talking San Diego, you're talking Padres? He's like, no, World Series, Game 5. And I'm like, oh, you think the Dodgers might try to sell Walker on a closer role? And he's like, it's been talked about. So I'm like, maybe there's the angle there. Maybe that's it. I don't know. This isn't me. This is just conversations with someone else. And it got me thinking about that. He came in there. He looked comfortable as hell. He looked nasty as hell. And a guy coming out 2 Tommy Johns, trying to get paid. Maybe that's it. And that pretty much means no to Tanner Scott or trading for Williams. But it's a layer I didn't even think of. And he told me that today. So be mindful of that. That's something that has been discussed. Jeff, you ever been friends with anyone from pro baseball or hoops? Yes, but I'm not a name dropping guy, so I'm going to stay away from that. But both, yes. Let's see. Rand says Seager was never going to re-sign with the Dodgers. He wanted to chase the bag. Yeah, and then they never even came back to give the Dodgers a chance to match. They never did. Mike says, I am subscribed now and all notifications are on. Man, you get the air horn, Mr. Mike McCain. Appreciate y'all, man. And again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please be like Mr. Mike McCain and subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on the video and definitely subscribe, man. We got 390 people in here on Twitter X right now. So if you're on Twitter X, make sure to follow me over there. If you're on YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter X at EmpireJeff_. You can follow me on IG at EmpireJeffTV. You can follow me, obviously, here on YouTube at EmpireJeffTV and on TikTok at EmpireJeffTV. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, Mike. And they played a more important position. Yep. Phil Jackson wasn't a good GM for the Knicks. Nope. I'm all about the Dodgers, but I'm not a Lakers fan. I rolled the Clippers. Oh, man, we were almost friends. We were almost friends. However, since we do have a Clipper quote, where that? Oh, we got the toilet bowl. Shout out to the Clippers. Kawhi. Woo, it's been a while since I can use that, man. Nah, that's all good. You can root for whoever you are, man. It's all fun and games around here. All fans are welcome. You heard it, you can come talk your team. It's all good, man. But happy that you're down with the Dodgers. You're not a Laker fan, you're a Clipper fan. It is what it is. Nobody's perfect. But I appreciate you, man. Tia leaving could be a good thing. Dodgers would get some draft picks too, and that may force them to go after someone like Tucker or Robert. Maybe. Let's see. Guys go from losing franchises to winning in LA. Stafford, Ohtani. Yep. Lakers Dodgers for life. What's going on, my brother? I'm not an expert myself, Jeff, but why do you think the Lakers continue to pay Mookie at shortstop? I think Mookie asked to play shortstop, and the front office said, okay, that's exactly what happened. That's what Friedman said, that he is dead set on it. This is what he wants, and they're going to let him do it. And we'll see if that lasts the whole season or just until they make a move, or if this is a leverage play. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. Appreciate you, brother. What's going on, Big Baby? Appreciate you for tuning in as always, man. Make sure to go subscribe to Big Baby Sports if you for all the Laker fans out there. Go get yourself some good Laker tantrums over there, man. Stafford is one of only 7 QBs who's thrown for 40 touchdowns in multiple seasons. Brady, Mahomes, Manning, Rodgers, Breeze, and Marino. Yeah, he's had a great career, bro. Had a great career, and he's got a Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl. Doesn't get enough credit for that, man. I'm with you. What's going on, Young? Jerry West was the best GM of all time. Oh, he was. Stacked, hands down. But even the best have some bad luck, man. They have some bad luck. Lakers 5th on NBA payroll. Suns 1st. Celtics 3rd. Nuggets 8th. Warriors 10th. Yeah. The Lakers aren't cheap. They're just ain't going right. What's going on, Alex? Rob is like those picks. We go with those picks. Oh man, bad spenders. Yeah. Poor roster construction. Yeah. Let's see. Controversial says off topic. Okay, this could be fun. But 2021 Lakers were the start over names over fit era. Yeah, Gasol, Drummond, Schroeder, Trez, and those chose those names over real pieces. Prime Gasol would have been dope. Should have learned by the old names. Yeah. And but you know what? Gasol wasn't really bad for us, man, that year. They brought in Drummond and put him over him, right? And they were starting a Schroeder over there. Yeah, it was the injuries in 2021 were just so brutal. That team was really good. But all those injuries, and the guys got COVID multiple times, and like that whole team was hurt. Like AD, Trez, Gasol, Braun, Caruso, everyone was hurt that year. That bubble tax was nuts. Will Walker want to be closer over a starter? So that's yes. So I don't know. I didn't even really start thinking about that till that was brought to my attention today. But the fact that they said that they've talked about it leads me intrigued. Here. Hold on. We go before I get out of here. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this Max Fried deal here real quick, though. Let me do rapid here. Beeler as a closer, I can definitely see that. He probably got his dominant stuff back in the shorter stints. That's what I'm saying. Genie also comes off sentimental, in my opinion. Sometimes it blinds you from the facts. I get the human aspect, but Genie likes being with her friends and overqualified guys. She only wants Rob there because he's a Kobe guy. It's fair. That's fair. Might have to ban Mike. PG situation to get them credit. Kawhi new haircut. Was that real? Because I've seen like 4 different pictures this year of Kawhi with a new quote unquote haircut. He's still on the bench with braids. I swear. You said Mookie Betts was the second baseman when he got drafted, but then they stuck him in right field. Talk about Mookie. Mookie is such a competitor. He would put all his energy into being the best shortstop. I fear his offense will suffer. We'll have to see about it, man. I wonder why Mookie wants to play shortstop. Maybe less running around equals less chance of injury. Also, there's a glory to being a superstar shortstop. And maybe I was talking with Joe earlier. Joe Sorrell was like, maybe he wants to win a Gold Glove at short. And it's like, maybe, right? Maybe. I am 33. I grew up with Kobe. He was my first non-family member death. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Micah, what's good, Micah? Dodgers and Mets beating up on the Yankees. Yeah, man. Yeah, what's going on, Micah? Hope you're doing well, brother. Speaking of the Yankees, let's talk about this Max Fried situation. 8 years. 8 years. $218 million. Highest salary for a left-handed pitcher in MLB history. Highest contract for a left-hander in MLB history. Max Fried. Straight out of the "we just lost Juan Soto" panic playbook, the New York Yankees. Now, Max Fried is a very good pitcher, but he's coming off probably his worst season. He got absolutely rocked by the Padres in the playoffs, and he's coming off injuries, and he's hurt often. I don't know, man. Not Burns, but him. If you're going to go 200, Burns is there. If you wanted the lefty, maybe you wanted the lefty. But, man, that's a whole lot of – it's a whole lot of. And I don't think anyone else was close to that offer. I don't think Boston was anywhere near that. I heard Boston was nowhere near that deal. And they were the main competitors, them in Toronto. And no one's going to Toronto. Everyone's Team Kendrick. No one's rocking with Drake. I'm kidding. Drake fans, I'm kidding. Kidding, Crody. It's all good. But yeah, I like Max Fried. The Dodgers were never going to go anywhere near that number. That's, looking now at that Blake Snell deal, it's a steal over 5 years. God, the Dodgers are so good at what they do. That's funny. Desperate move, man. That was man. Yeah, exactly. Snell deal looking fantastic. Micah says, Jeff, can you explain the way these MLB contracts work? Someone told me a lot of teams will pay the player a large portion of the contract later and not in the beginning. Well, it could be later. It could be in the beginning. You could be a signing bonus up front. That's a big chunk of it. It could be deferred money that spaces out. You got Bobby Bonilla still being paid by two teams from the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, you can defer for a very long time. And just keeps you from paying more like tax and money that you got to pay in salary during that year. So you can stretch it out. You can break that thing out like a mortgage, essentially. So a little different, whereas in other sports. But like Blake Snell just got a $57 million signing bonus of his $187 million. Did I quote those numbers right? But they can get crafty, they can get creative. Fried's gonna have shave his face. Next thing. Yeah, Lakers, man. Let's see. Yeah, Ohtani deal looks like a steal. So that's when you heard they made between 120 and 150 million of profit off his first year. Insane. But on that note, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night. I appreciate y'all tuning in on a Tuesday. 400 people live on Twitter X right now. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Everyone on YouTube, appreciate you guys. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If you're catching the replay, let me know what you think in the comment section. What day is it today? Tuesday. I'll probably catch you guys some point tomorrow night. Hopefully we get some news. We won't have much on Roki. He can meet with teams now, but I don't expect anything to become official until it can't become official until January 15th. I doubt he tips his hand prior to that, but maybe he does. And hopefully we get some news on Teoscar Hernandez, Walker Buehler, and some of these names, Tanner Scotts, Corbin Burns. Hopefully Crochet. Hopefully by the end of the winter meetings. 3 more days of the winter meetings, which means 3 more days of coverage from EmpireJeff TV coming in the MLB. And catch me tomorrow night. So appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Search, thank you for your time as always, man. You're the best in the business. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Y'all stay safe. What's up, Bridges? I have been saying, but it wasn't Jimmy. He ain't a superstar to me. But y'all have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. Love y'all. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.